Here once again. Hope you all have been keeping well. Um, I would like to discuss one of the biggest problem that people have when they get into business. So the biggest problem that most of the startups and most of the people who come up with an idea and would like to implement the idea face is that of not having a marketing budget. I am amazed to the point shocked at the fact that people come into business. They have got this great idea, they come up with this great product, and they go through the entire process of creating that business, right? So they do all the legwork. So they would go out there, do the research. They are going to get into the product creation or the service creation, whatever it is. They are going to go ahead. They are going to get themselves an office hired. They're going to start perhaps even hiring staff. They'll put all the pieces of the jigsaw together. They will do all the work, and it may take about, sometimes it may take a year, sometimes it may take 2 years, sometimes they're juggling it between jobs. So they're going through all that hassle, right? Only to realize is that when they are about to launch the business, they do not have a marketing budget, right? My question to them is, what are you thinking? Right? Because it's like you going ahead and understanding the technology of how and the mechanics of how a car works. So you're going out there, you're getting yourself educated, how does a car work, and you're getting all that experience, the expertise. You're understanding the building blocks of how it works. You're putting all those building blocks together, right? And by now you have put in all the time, the effort, the energy, only to realize that about 1.5 years later, 2 years later, when your car is actually ready, you do not have the money to put petrol in it, right? And if you cannot put petrol in your car, unless it's an electric car, of course, if you cannot put petrol in your car, it does not take a genius to tell you that your car will not move. Okay. The best way I can explain this is that if you see the examples of some of the biggest companies and some of the big stories that we get to hear, the likes of LinkedIn, Facebook, Uber, some of these big boys, Airbnb, right? What they count on and what they have got is a massive marketing budget, right? I'm not saying you need to go out and get yourself hundreds of millions of pounds marketing budget, but the reality of the matter is, no matter how good a product you are developing, the product has got a life, a start time and an end time. So it comes into existence between that time, from the start and up until the end. When that product has been created, right? Obviously, what is not happening after that is you do not have the muscle or the power or the money to take it to the world. It's almost like you have created a plane, which is or a ship, right, which is sailing through quiet waters, right, in the deepest of oceans without anybody noticing it. Okay, so if you do not have the money to market your business, do not get into the business. Full stop. It does not make any difference if your idea is the best idea in the world or if it is the worst idea in the world, for that matter, right? If you do not have the money or the budget, right, to get into business, there is no point even getting into it, because everything between now and the time you are going to end up creating that product, right, like I said, even if it is the best product in the world, it is all a waste of time, all a waste of energy, wasted effort completely, right? So do yourself a favor and do either of these two things. Either get yourself some money for your marketing and have a marketing budget even before you think of getting into a business. If you are already in business, then it's already, I suppose, too late, but you can still go out there and get yourself some money. And the second is, do not even get into it if you think you cannot get money or you do not have a budget for marketing. Now, I come to my last point, which is how much money should you have to be doing marketing? That is not a very difficult question to answer. So if I'm talking about percentages, I typically say, typically it should be at least 1/3 of the money that you are putting into business. So if you have got a business which you're looking to do something with, which is going to cost you about, I'd say, £100,000, then roughly about £30,000 should be your marketing budget. Yes, that is correct. Roughly about that much. I mean, I have seen businesses where they have invested hundreds of thousands of pounds, and they have got this brilliant machine, and it can do anything and everything that you can possibly imagine, right? And this brilliant idea which has now been brought to life. And when I ask them, so what's your marketing budget, they have this big question mark on their face, as if I'm speaking to them in an alien language, which surprises me, because if you do not have the end goal in mind, how would you even start the journey, right? I mean, it would be silly to get in your car, start the engine, right? And then hope it will take you somewhere. You have to have the destination in mind, right? So if you have the destination in mind, you have to have chalked out a route map backwards, right? For you to even contemplate starting and getting into business, right? So once again, do yourself a favor, and do not get into business if you do not have a marketing budget. If you do have a marketing budget, that is great. You're certainly on the right track. But then, of course, there comes a whole discussion on where should you be spending that money. What are the right places you should be spending that money, and who you should be spending that money with. That's a different question, perhaps a topic for a different video. But what you have to also most importantly keep in mind is that the amount of budget. So don't invest in a business which is going to cost you £100,000-200,000 only to realize that that particular marketing budget that you have got is probably a few hundred quid. I'm talking from real life examples. I'm talking where people have gone ahead and they have invested thousands and thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of pounds, creating this beautiful business or product or service, whatever you want to call it, and they have hit a roadblock, right? And that roadblock is literally, when you ask them, so how much is your marketing budget, they say, oh, £200 a month, £300 a month. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it's shameless to say the least, that you would go through the whole thing only to realize that you do not have any money to market. So that is my message to you guys today. And I have seen a lot of businesses fail because of this. So it really is very serious, because my understanding is, if I come across about 10 people, right, this is how bad this is. If I come across 10 people who want to do something with their business and want to take it to the next level, want to have some more sales in, or are getting into business, 8 out of 10 tell me they haven't got a clue of what they should be spending for marketing. They do not have a marketing budget. They have not even thought about it. Some people say that to me, right? From my point of view, I think that's plain silly, right? And I think that is literally murder, right? Because you are literally going into something which is completely unknown, and especially more towards the end, you will never see any results of it, because you're not going to be able to market it, which means you're never going to be able to make any money from it. Guys, I hope that has made some sense today. If you have got a specific business problem, if your business is stuck with something, you're looking to grow your business, if your business is just about surviving, and you cannot make sense of what is going wrong, or maybe you do know what is going wrong and you want to start to put things together, you are more than welcome to give me a shout. I do a lot of business consulting, a lot of business advice. We implement systems into companies, on organizations, and maybe this is the chat we need to have to get your business to where you want to get it to. So hope that has made some sense. Thank you very much. My website is faisaltalpur.com. For now, thank you very much. Adios.